All right, everybody, welcome back here to this Megadeth album review series. Last time we hit the 90s with Rust in Peace, and this time we're going to keep the 90s going with Countdown to Extinction. Very cool album cover, always liked it. Kind of creepy, kind of eerie looking. You may be wondering where's Vic Rattlehead. Well, he's right here on the back playing with some kind of abacus here or something going on. Got kind of a glare going on, but yeah, very cool album cover. A very iconic album cover for the 90s for sure. So we keep going with the, of course, we keep going with the same lineup here. Marty Friedman's still up in the band. And, you got that awesome tag team of him and Dave Mustaine going on guitars. But, yeah, this album is definitely the one that really made them commercially successful. I mean, you still hear stuff from this played all the time on radio and, in I wouldn't really say in media as of late. I haven't really heard it in anything, right? But, these are still very popular songs, a lot of these off here. Even if you're not a fan of Megadeth, you've probably heard one or two of these off here for sure. Very well produced album as well. A lot of, this was kind of like the counter argument to Metallica's Black Album, so a lot of work went into this thing for sure. But we'll kick things off with side one, track number one, that opening track, Skin on My Teeth. Badass track. Love this one. A great way to kick off the album and kind of show what it's all about here. This album is, as we'll see, a little less thrashy and has a lot more melodic moments to it. Really hooky melodies at that, but still retains that thick, heavy Megadeth sound at the same time. But Skin on My Teeth, one of my favorites off here, always has been, and I think it's a perfect opener. I love the riff in this one. I love the chorus, which again is just right off the bat, something that'll hook you in, and you're like, oh, this is a little bit different from the last album. Then we hop on over to the second track, and this is the one that most everybody knows off here. I mean, it was the first Megadeth song I ever heard, Symphony of Destruction. And, this is one that, as, much as it's been played over the years, I still just get a kick out of this track, man. That riff is just kick-ass. I mean, it's just, this song is like the definition of badassery. That riff, you got Dave Ellefson, thumping along in the back while that riff's going on, and really cool lyrics and vocal delivery from Dave Mustaine as well. And I've always loved the solo in this one. This is just a very iconic 90s metal track. Iconic metal track, period. And, while it's not my favorite track off here, I mean, it's in the upper echelon for me. Because I've always loved Symphony of Destruction. It's one of those that I just don't get tired of for whatever reason. I know sometimes there's those songs that they get overplayed and you're like, you get tired of hearing them, but I've just never really got tired of hearing Symphony of Destruction, I'll tell you that. Then we go with, man, this one might be my second favorite off here, if not the first. I'm talking about Architecture of Aggression. Man, this one, the chorus is such a hooky chorus in this one, and just has such a good groove to it. And all the while you got Dave and Marty Friedman just riffing it up for that main riff going on. And this one has always been one of my favorite Megadeth songs, period. Architecture of Aggression is, like I said, like within the top 1, 2, maybe 3 of tracks off here, period. And I think one that could have been a really big hit. I just think some other hits off here kind of, took the limelight, like Symphony of Destruction and all that. But then what's probably my favorite off here, like I said, it's in between this one and Architecture of Aggression. We're talking about Foreclosure of a Dream. Man, this one's such a cool one. Kind of starts off, like with some acoustic stuff going on and just kind of a slower paced verse. And then, it's just like the gear, starts turning, and that speed kicks in with that really, really hooky chorus. Probably the hookiest and catchiest chorus off here, if you ask me. And like I said, probably my favorite song off here. I even looking at it, I'd say that's definitely the one right here. Foreclosure of a Dream has always been a favorite of mine, and one of my favorite Marty Friedman solos as well. Just tears this thing up, and then things kick back in with a little bit of a higher octave, faster pace near the end with that last chorus. So Foreclosure of a Dream, top tier track. Then we go with track number 5 here. This one I might ruffle some feathers here with Sweating Bullets. This is another one that most people have heard. One of, their most popular songs or anything, and I've just not ever really liked it that much. I mean, I'm even going as far to say this is my least favorite track off the album. And I ain't just trying to say it because it's popular. I've never really loved this song. I don't hate it, but I just think the "Hello me, meet the real me," that whole exchange thing going on, especially like in the music video, right? It's really corny to me, and I just start laughing just about every time I hear this song, right? The chorus is really good, I'll say that, and it's got a cool groove going on in it and everything. This one, just those verses are just really, Dave Mustaine's vocals are very unique at that, and obviously I love them. I'm ranking all Megadeth stuff here, right? But I just think like it just comes off as really corny the way this is done, and maybe this was the band trying to have some fun and joke around a little bit. I don't know, but like anytime this one comes on, I just start laughing at that. Hello me, it's me again. It's funny. It's hilarious. How this track is, but again, that the chorus is kind of a groovy thing. And it's pretty cool and everything. But Sweating Bullets is just not really my cup of tea from Megadeth. Definitely my least favorite off here, which again would shock a lot of people. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on if you guys think that you guys are a lover of this song, or if you guys are kind of weirded out by it like me. But I've always been that way, even since the first time I ever heard it. But then we close out side 1 with a bit of a deep cut here. This Was My Life, and this one kind of gives me a feel of like Sad But True, like Megadeth's Sad But True kind of. Even though it doesn't really have like the same kind of beat going on, it's probably just like during the chorus, the hey, that goes on. But it just kind of gives me that same feel, and I love this song. This was one that I kind of forgot just how good it was. There's a couple on here I forgot just how damn good they were, especially on that B side, or side B, side 2, whatever, which we'll hop on over to. Which the first track off there is the title track, Countdown to Extinction. This one I've always loved this one. It has a really cool and heavy chorus that goes on here, and just, man, love the lyrics of this one. Really has a good, being the title track, really embodies this album really well, with kind of just, doom and gloom kind of feel going on lyrically and everything. And I just love the title track here, Countdown to Extinction. Then we go with High Speed Dirt, which is probably the thrashiest one off here. I'm pretty sure even near the end of the song, it even talking about thrashing around and all that. Really, just like the title says, it's high speed, right? But it's one of my least favorites off here. And it is one that I could easily see being on some of their earlier, the prior albums. Mainly even like, I could see this being off like So Far, So Good, So What. Kind of has that feel to it. But it's a cool song. Just not one of my favorites. Doesn't really quite grab me as much. I like that speediness of it and that thrashy Megadeth kind of entering the fray here on this track. And I do like the little bluesy kind of solo that just breaks out of nowhere from Marty Friedman, and then it goes right back into the thrash. And so it's a cool song, but it's one of my least favorites off here for sure. Then we go with Psychotron, and this one's got to be like within the top 3 for me. I love Psychotron. It's got this robotic kind of feel to it, some pretty cool and sick riffs going on. The chorus is just awesome, very awesome, and I like the lyrics. Talking about machines and cyborgs, and just this one has always been one of my favorites off here. And it's just a sick track altogether, amazing Megadeth track. And you can maybe have the argument like, oh, this one's kind of corny, right, for talking about not a cyborg or whatever, and talk about some of that. But I don't really get that feel from here as much as, especially like Sweating Bullets. I freaking love Psychotron for sure. And yeah, love that chorus, is really hooky. Will get in your head quick. Then we go with this one I totally forgot about, man. Captive Honor. And this one's pretty cool. It's one of my least favorites off here. But it's kind of, telling the story about some dude getting sentenced to life. Kind of has some spoken word parts that are kind of crazy, and then kind of really follows that story lyrically and everything. And I just really like, I really like the once the song really kicks in, you know, shit gets pretty good. And it has one of the best solos on the album, actually, near the end of the track. You know, Marty just tears it down, that neoclassical, you know, shredding all over this thing. And but really a song I totally forgot about. But I'm glad to have, you know, kind of rediscovered that, because I do like it, and I might even end up growing to like it even more, and it might, you know, rise up the rankings a little bit, because it is a cool kind of concept, cool story going on. But just not one of my favorites right now, at least. Then we close things out with Ashes in Your Mouth, and this one is freaking sick, man. It's got this kind of offbeat riff going on, and it really thick and chunky riff from Mustaine and Friedman, you know, whoever's doing which or both. Both are awesome at guitar, right? But yeah, Ashes in Your Mouth, another one that has just that really catchy chorus to it. But also, I mean, this one has like an extra little bit of layer, some heaviness to it as well. One of the heavier ones off here, without being like the thrashy or kind of like High Speed Dirt. But I really like the offbeat kind of nature of this one, and some of the time changes that go on in this one are really cool. And it kind of has more of an epic feel to it. I mean, it's not like a lengthy song. I think it's one of the longer songs off here, but it just kind of has kind of a grandiose, like, we're wrapping this thing up. And I think it really closed the album perfectly, if you ask me. So Ashes in Your Mouth, another top of the line track for sure, and a great closer. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is Countdown to Extinction. Love it, hate it. You know, I've seen some people hate on it, you know, with being like, oh, well, this is where they, you know, they sold out and got more commercial and everything. Well, you know, they changed things up a little bit, but man, this album's freaking heavy as hell. So, you know, I don't really get that. I mean, I know they got less thrashy here and everything, except for like High Speed Dirt. But I mean, this is Megadeth right here, you know, and this is what a lot of people were introduced to Megadeth with, like myself, with like the song Symphony of Destruction. That's just a badass riff, thrashy or not, right? And so I love Countdown to Extinction. I think it's a fantastic album, and, you know, again, a very important album for the 90s metal scene and just the metal scene in general. And a very, you know, a good rival to Metallica's Black Album, if you know, if you will. I mean, I'd go ahead and easily say that this album I like better than the Black Album. So, if that tells you anything. So, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I really want to talk about Foreclosure, or not Foreclosure of a Dream, but Sweating Bullets down there. See if it's just me that's kind of hating on that song a little bit, not really liking it all that much. But even though I know a lot of people really dig it and kind of like that weird, you know, corniness about it, it's just not really for me. It's an okay song or whatever, but definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on this album, and, you know, where you were when you first heard this thing, and or caught some of the music videos and all that. But yeah, guys, Countdown to Extinction, we knocked that one out, and next time we're going to fast forward 2 years to 1994 with Euthanasia. So stay tuned for that as we continue on in this Megadeth album review series. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks so much.